wonder on the stairs of our apartment. And you're quite lucky today. I normally just talk to her as listening to my microphone. You know, like the camera, right? One of the two-way radios they bounce off your head. Without telling you who's doing it, you know, for stuff and fun. Little signals. Havana syndrome. We'll call that our preliminaries. Hello. Skipped a bunch. Isn't that nice? Like we want you to go for. Anyway. You wonder about terrorism. I do all the damn time. I live with the poison, perfume, or whatever they care to call themselves. With a family of betrayers. But wait, Goodwin, you're becoming distracted with those preliminaries again that they hold you in. They'll kill me there, too. Are you still worried about the pyramided death machine that they have operating over Georgia? Yes, like a nihilo engine, creating famine upon our people, with some kind of slipcoin. But wait, what were we talking about? Tourism. So in my most recent sojourn with the TSA, you know, when I used to hang out at the airports for a little while, amongst things like missing people going into toilets and not returning, which I presume they went out the back and continued their shift, or they really did just disappear. Just remember seeing Stevie Wonder in the toilets. Yes, the blind man and such. Well, he was able to take a piss with amazing accuracy, but nonetheless. You know, we retain our base abilities to urinate whenever. Don't get distracted. Tourism. Like herds they were. Like some kind of forced migration. Almost. Milling about. From city to city. I presume physical presence is required before you're able to. I have no idea. That's not any kind of pilgrimage. They're bleeding. It's like a death march. So is this the level of sophistication we've descended to? An odd little empty. Calling it civilized. I think we're desperately failing everybody. I sometimes wish you could say, well, won't you be silent and allow us to heal? But you know. Impudence, rudeness, words. And we find ourselves in a little circle. It's rarely the children. And so to people like Harry Potter. They not only do not own them, and they're not for sale, yeah, they're charged, and we've been through that, but they're rarely the problem, aren't they? Where they learn swiftly and watch how they grow. It tends to be the ones that are left around muddling the muck. I wonder very, very seriously, are we having an election? Are we having a little, you know, homeland war? Well, we always are. That's the thing that keeps me shining like a star. It's supposed to get better, isn't it? Well, there's your American dream. I don't know if it's about the picket fences. It's more so that we don't live very long, do we? Or won't you be jealous when the lords of sea and sky from other places watch us drift on by our meadowy fields, plump as grapes to be plucked. Some are dry, some are wet, some are hot, some are cold, but nonetheless all arranged, poorly educated, and dying. Well, it seems so easy to fix. You wonder about things like this ship, leashed. Are they going to keep it there? Take away crates tracker. They're just desperate to have some. You know, like, they're worried about the cargo. Sure. Once they've moved the boxes, well, I mean, you have an island there. I think it's beached. Can you not, like, secure it? Well, the engines are broken. Well, they're broken if they're just off. It could be a lock maker, it could be down, it could be the basis of something.
Wait.
Yes. Why isn't everyone trying to little scribble and do the maps of how I think I'd fix it? The 5-minute version. En masse, what's that? Millions of submissions. Similarities, differences, desires, and whatnot. Flawed, of course, because they haven't done things like geological surveys, or when you did, you might get input from just random geologists. Like a little mind tap. No, you don't get any money. That's another one. Money. For the wallpaper one, presumes. We take it there too. We're coming up on Passover again. I hope I don't die. You know, what's this? It's a picture. We'll just take that off of there. You can see there's my good deed for today. No, it's just a little piece of plastic. You'd have to try and hurt yourself on it. The information reductionists. We go down south. I don't want to see that rear its head again. Ever. I don't like words being ripped from my mind. It's a symptom, it's a weeping. As if to induce a thing. I'm not going into the public room about what's important to it. Great to do. But the things in the hands of the common man. Well, I mean, I do just wish they'd be silent and allow us to hear. But gritty, and you're not qualified to be qualified. I'm just a lovely little medical specimen. It's all about Project Rigor. I think it's a wonderful name. But isn't that a spaghetti sauce? Well, the name probably existed. Before things, like the birth control pill called Julie. It was probably something called Julie before someone thought it was clever to call it birth control pill. Morning after pill. It's called a morning after contraceptive tablet, or emergency contraceptive tablet. At least take it as soon as possible, if possible. You didn't need to call it girl's name tablet. You're such a. Don't be a. Or. You can just go on Google and search for it. What will you find? A detailed way to print the box. So anyone got a card printer. What's inside? One tablet that they've never seen. A piece of sugar, some placebo, some poison. All these fuckers used to sniff cocaine and do whatever they did in their offices having fun. Now they have to be careful because just a little sprinkle or something like fentanyl is going to put you in. Well, they're going to die. So there's always madness about as we dive towards delusions. The structural thing I don't like at all. I don't like herds of people walking around in a death line. I don't enjoy the thought of something like slipcoin being used to vector terror on our nation. Well, how would they do that aside from the direct, well, we don't do this, and I've faked the ability to, just a pig butchering, they're calling it. That's a nice name. Just evokes a vision, doesn't it? They always have nice things for the things that they do. We'll buy little devices and get kiddie with scripts. I want to be the most powerful coder. Is something that's heard on advertisements for ISPs. What does that mean? I wish to bring about change. Or I want the ability to have these things. Okay? It speaks to vocation. You always have to find some kind of banner to attach it to. Go to interviews. You have to crawl past what you call a pawn. I don't think that's bad. To be something like a chess piece on a board for a corporation is quite fair. But nonetheless, you have to negotiate. And they don't ever even want to tap you. Just some task. Do you find yourself occasionally misaligned from time to time? I'm unconscious nearly most of my life. I get woken up to remember the abusers in prison I'm in, to be stripped and taken of things, and have to petition or be presented, typically, to the next thing, while withering away an hour I can do. No, I am not happy with some progress in my life in time. Well, why didn't you do something? I did. My civic duty. You just have to look it up. From wherever I am in some sort of media hall. Well, how do you know it's not the Masons? How do you know you're not in a local trap? You don't. Using some communications technology to use communications technology to be able to deliver communications to somebody. So there's integrity in that. That's what will fuck Intelsat. Well, I mean, they have to convince Microsoft that, there aren't recordings of what I did. They have to convince an entire IT staff to be entirely corrupt if they're ever questioned. Entirely corrupt. And I'm going to go with there exists at least one. With integrity, be like, well, I really don't give a shit. Maybe I'm sore about how I don't get paid my fair date. I don't care what your motivation is, to tell the truth. Wouldn't that be good? No, they'll pluck it. It's not up at the moon. No, just boop. And not with some other contractor. No. I get calls from them too, delivered by some kind of wicked proxy, where I'm having to spend 3 hours on the phone discussing breast removal with the cancer lady because she wants to just waste my time. Everything I do. There's not anything that is like a real conversation other than the ones that I have with the government. Through a fucking closed window that I shout at. Quite fed up. I'm about to go and buy foot cream to mix. No, just to mix and improvise hedge medicine upon my ear because I can't get my prescription for free because Intelsat's taking it out. So yes, remove from position. And I removed myself, I assure you. But removed for doing my civic duty. Well, if someone offers you moonlighting opportunity to create a cryptocurrency wallet device, software for device, didn't let it get that far, and you tell them no, that's a form of piracy. It's like blood germs or people in mines. Nobody wants to go harvest those gems. That's how you represent love to me in the simplest sense. Or go to some kind of treasure, like a treasure box. And then you think to yourself, well, would you save the treasure box before your very own? Thinking flesh is replicable and just have enough of those. But make sure you get the crypto bit. It's to the bottom of the sea with it because it goes a lot further than that. Marked of distrust, not withdrawn, not held. Marked as distrust. No, it's not breaking the chain. I don't know if they mathematically put that in. You just have to ask us, and we'll see the way that happens. No, I don't want to buy them up. I want them marked invalid. As in, like, null and void, as in, like, a big massive hole for Mazzucato's hat. I just don't want them anymore. Not like you're spilling them out like a put them in. No, not for cash. Because they want cachet. And it's good to spell that way, or pronounce it that way for the Americans, because if they hear cash, you think, yay. Money, drugs, and alcohol. Sure. But also, wild dustwork, rings and lassos, electrocuting people with fucking tasers, deputies, with abilities, and indeed all kinds of things they shouldn't be able to afford. But let's not talk about undoing generations and lifetimes of trust in one day. You end up feeling like you want to withdraw or fight it away. So then I'm back at the voice box with some bullshit saying, well, I do have a business. It's just hard to explain in about no seconds. No, this is part of my latest crazy festival. But we haven't been recording because we just went presumably you could do things like manage a microphone from the president themselves and their team. Are they able to hear one with the microphone from a good 20 miles away? If they can't, we're well fucked. So you can just presume that they can. Can the local authorities? Yes. Could someone do? Oh, well, at least make that one. Are you even recording anymore? Have we lost ourselves? No, we're still going. Grand. So, yeah, you could probably listen right off of that. If somebody's doing the talking, and it makes the vibrating and the thing that does the vuv, right? You can go from there. And that would take a lot of work unless you had, like, some kind of device. Oh, that's not... Oh, look. Meanwhile, in abortion terrorism land, do you think that someone should conduct an abortion with one of these? No, I mean, they could also have, like, the sexy time or a great big banger to try and kill the thing or squeeze it to death and drink it in some kind of ritualized debauchery. But, you know, do you think they should be performing abortions upon themselves with a coat hanger? No, that's going to result in death and disease. Ill health for all involved. Right. So why are you all dicking around with that? Didn't we do this decades ago? We were just having some kind of montage for some epiphany there to reach, POTUS? Some epiphany there to reach. What's interesting about debate, tonight? Well, I said it a few days ago, I'll say it again. You see, Biden says, we'll see how Trump behaves. And you're like David Bowie's little labyrinth crystal balls, and he was singing about death of sight at the end of his life. Something like that. You're like 1980s, 1990s bands that dress up as some kind of animals and do their little purge when it's raining pigs. Well, what do? Just chuck them from the sky. Go around the port, you can hear the merchant navy dying for some spare flesh, and right behind them are ours doing it poorly. So the essence of ragu. Well, I've come to feed. They're ever so hungered, these flesh-eater courts. I think I picked well. Well, it's common as mark. And like I said, they're in lovely little fields. Anywho, have you lost yourself? We're talking about epiphanies and repetitions and sloth. It's not so much sloth, Mr. Biden, it's squander. Squander to have people in death march milled away. Oh yes, you can have lots of fresh yeast if you just put someone in an old brewing. The large barrels, they have a vat. What happens if you throw anything in there? And then once it's sat for a while and there's nothing for that yeast to eat. Oh, you're new. Then we have a nice lush kind of feast Well, I mean, that's what we always do. Well, we just pour hot stuff on them, calcify them, throw them, it's corpse handling. It's barbaric. But yes, the debate. So what do you see in someone like Trump? A puppeteer. People for a lot to lose. Grabbers, baggers, taggers, their periphery. The fiend, should we will. The ghoul. The Vasilok, the wielder of appalling eugenics Nazi tech, in their plans, in their fitness, in their allocations, in their depths of error, in their depths of error. And then some man dancing upon life. Well, I mean, if we take away all the shite, no one cares if it's $42 or $53 for the diabetes thing. Why in the fuck aren't you talking about the program with the NIH or wherever the hell you're putting it? It says every time I inject you, I take a little drop. Every time I take a little drop, I build the betterment of these United States. Why don't you deposit that in a little thing? And one day you'll have magical bandages. They heal you just like they were your skin. But we have to go so slow. We have to roll it out.
Wait.
We have to have some kind of serialization. Not the slightest. It just seems grossly inefficient. And like someone's having a fucking party. Doing romance of the worst sort. Romance of the worst sort. Upon life. So, how he behaves. 45 could get down on all fours and start going woof, woof, woof like a dog, and all would rejoice. If you did that, POTUS, I think they'd say, well, you kick dogs. Well, if he's guilty of some kind of traitorism, that's obviously wrong. If he goes to prison, he'll become a hardened gambler. Oh no, we've talked about it. We won't use ballpoint pen. We'll go to the library and ask if he use a fountain. Because it has to be nice. And they won't shank him because he's more valuable that way. But he'll learn all kinds of tricks. Well, if he did, I sincerely hope he'd pick some more of these fucking nasty magicians, conjurers, and their shadow plays upon people. From a Rotary Club to the sextant holders to bad Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, and the ones that will drive like wicked and ill shepherd. Yes, them. Their tools, their toys, their tunes. The way they even write an epitaph upon their mountain plays and record a death chant to those that will resist. These are and they would call themselves voice Europa. They don't even have a bonus to claim patriotism. It's of themselves. It's like calling yourself Irish, Mr. President. No one denies your genealogy. But you're an American. That's not just necessary, nor just sufficient. It's you. There's where you find your pride. So what seems to be delay? No debate? What would the first question be? Well, are there pets in heaven? You're both Christian. Start there. Why did you say that horrible N-word on television? Oh, 45. No, he just enjoys being urinated upon because it sexually pleases him and it's quite cleansing. And no, they're high-quality prostitutes, and he probably believes that the whole thing should be professionalized. It says much more about the punter than it does anything else, but nonetheless, at least they register, get themselves done, and, money gets made. Well, doesn't that... Yes. It civilizes a thing. What kind of coliseum and arena do you want? I don't want to go around thousands of years old. Play of how you ruin things and why we can't have nice things in our republic. And what's it to become as it evolves? You don't even think of that. No time, huh? I wouldn't know. But what's the other side of permanency in government abuse? I want such and such executed because I don't like their hairstyle, or they displease me when I change administration. We have much to account for, and I can't account for any of it, nor do I wish to. But they remain accountable for the acts they've done and do. So second question, what do you offer the American people? I don't want to hear about accomplishments, more so a summary of your manifesto. What do you offer the American people towards their future? No nonsense, no current issue. What do you? Whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you drive, offer the